What's going on, class? I personally believe that the most significant unit that we were taught this semester was the unit of motivation. I personally believe this because the industry that I would like to enter in my post-college life is the music industry, and I personally believe that that is an industry that entails a great detail of motivation and is an industry that requires you to utilize motivation to its fullest extent. Now, what I liked learning from the motivation unit was about the 4 different theories. I personally believe that I've always been a motivated person, but just like anybody else, there usually comes moments where you question that motivation or you question your abilities. So the learnings and materials taught in that unit really help show how to stay motivated via use of 4 different theories or 4 different means. Again, those 4 means were the goal-setting theory, the equity theory, the expectancy theory, and the psychological empowerment theory. So learning about everything in that unit, and again, those 4 theories showed how to use them and use motivation to its fullest extent and how to not use them in a proper way, and thus things that could lead to improper motivation. So again, I personally believe that the unit that was of most significance this semester, especially to me in the industry that I want to enter, was the unit of motivation. Moving on, the things I plan to change about my own behavior at work and possibly outside of work are the things of communication and teamwork. So to start, I personally believe I've always been a strong communicator. I've always been good with word flow. I've always been good with having clear, concise, directed thoughts. But one thing that I plan to change is the top 3 communication skills that we learned about, because those are areas that I feel as if I might be lacking in. So articulation skills to start. So sometimes I personally feel like I'm good at taking ideas or thoughts from my head and putting them on paper or putting them to action. But sometimes, just like anybody else, I have trouble or, error with that state. So that's something that I personally need to improve. Secondly, the listening skills. Sometimes if somebody isn't very good at speaking or if they're having a hard time getting their thoughts out, I have a tendency to turn away before their full thought gets out. And so I personally believe that I need to hone in my listening skills a little bit better. And then the third thing that I need to work on is for feedback skills. So the ability to both provide adequate feedback and to respond positively to feedback that's given to me. So those are 3 things that I feel as if I need to continue to work on. And another thing that I need to work on is teamwork. I've always been a good, strong team player, but sometimes I have the tendency to underestimate the ability of others and therefore take on more workload because I am confident in my abilities. But I personally believe that that is something I need to work on, because trust, it usually results in either positive output or positive relationships. And so again, the 2 overall things that I need to work on are communication and teamwork. So moving on, concerning the 2 things that I'm having issues with, again, the topic of communication and the topic of teamwork, I personally believe that in relation to communication, I just need to slow down my listening skills and give people the full amount of time to get their full thought or full act out, and then after they've made their final point, then make communication. Don't make communication before the final point is made. Now, concerning teamwork, I personally believe that I just need to be a little bit more trusting, and that again, being more trusting will produce positive outputs and positive relationships. So lastly, the ways that I define success are by the 2 definitions of financially and happiness. Most people say that being financially successful doesn't always mean you're successful as a person, but I personally disagree with that, because in order to have resources, in order to have a luxurious filled life and lifestyle, you have to be able to have money, and therefore being financially successful is an indication of being successful overall and as a person. Secondly, the second definition would be happiness. You have to be happy with what you're doing, your exact job, and the outputs that you're putting out, as well as the overall mix of your career. I personally believe that I am on the path to success because I'm happy with what I'm putting out in college right now, but the only thing that I'm unsuccessful in is financially, because I'm a college student. To conclude, I just wanted to say thank you for everything this semester, and I also just wanted to say that I hope you have a safe and happy holiday season with your loved ones.